welcome to day one of the holiday card series for 2023. I'm so excited you're here with me today. I'm going to be switching things up this year. I get a lot of questions on how I pick my color palettes, where I get my color combos. So I thought this year we will focus more on color versus technique. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to make it really easy to pick those color palettes, and also share a tool with you I have in my craft room that makes it really easy. I'll also share examples of color palettes, how I use the color palettes, the inks, papers, and markers I use, and I'll give you some examples of when you use one color more than another. It's super, super easy. It's very relaxing, so I don't want you to stress. We're going to have perfect color palettes this year for our holiday cards. So each video, if you have a comment, just leave it in the description box below, and I will answer it and try to help you out to the best that I can. All right, everybody, it's day one. Let's go ahead and start. Okay, let's start with our first color combination. This color combination really spoke to me. I feel like it could go from fall to Christmas very easily. Now, you'll see a number here in the corner in this card and a lot of information on the back. I have the Sarah Renee Clark color cubes. They are fantastic for picking a great color palette. I will make sure to link that below in the description box if you would like to get your hands on that. Now, I use a color cube, but then I also use inspiration from clothing that I might seen, artwork, pillows, even boards on Pinterest. I'll post my Pinterest board in the comment section below as well, because I get a lot of inspiration from pinning color combos there. So again, this is our first color combination, and I want to show you what I created using this color palette. So for my first card, I have this adorable little mouse, and it's pulling in most of the colors. Now, when you're picking a color palette, let's say for instance, you didn't want the yellow, you can still take this yellow out and use these three colors. If you didn't want this certain green, you can use just this green with these colors. So that's what's so great about using a color palette. You don't have to use all of it. So this is my first inspiration, and this was made using the Merry Little Mice from Honeybee Stamps. Absolutely adorable. And I did this with my stamp wheel from Altenew. So that is one look how you can do this with coloring an image. All right, let's go on to our next thing of inspiration. Our next card also is pulling from this color palette. Very pretty. You see that everything blends together nicely, and I'm just pulling each one of these colors out. And like I said, this might look like a fall color palette, but remember, you can pull those colors into Christmas. Now, this one here was made from the stamp set from Simon Says Stamp called Deck the Halls. As you can see, I also have some pre-color images that I can add to another stamp set. So that's our second card for our inspiration. Again, I'm pulling in that same color palette. To switch things up, I went into a paper pad. Again, still have the colors here, but it looks totally different. And I created this card by using this adorable stamp set from My Favorite Things. And this is Gnome Ho Ho, coloring up these images here, but using a paper pad for that green. And that paper pad is the colorful Christmas text 6x6 paper pad. So as you can see, I'm able to achieve this color palette in multiple ways. So let me go ahead and bring back in my cards for you to see. So here are my three cards, right? Inspired by this one color palette, but you can see just how different they look where you place your color. Now, I did all of these with markers, but I'm going to show you with inks exactly what color combinations you can use. So I'm going to go and place this out of the way. All right, so let's go ahead and move into our ink and paper colors. So for ink, you can use Cranberry from Hero Arts and the Cranberry paper from Hero Arts. You can use Papaya ink and Papaya paper, also from Hero Arts. Pumpkin ink and pumpkin cardstock. Now, don't be afraid to mix your company products. So I have Gina K key lime and the key lime paper. And for my last green, I have the moss and I have pesto. So that is just one way that you can pull in that color palette by using colors of cardstock and inks. Now, if you don't have this, another way you can go as far as another company is Concord and Ninth. So I'm going to grab my Cranberry from Concord and Ninth and my Cranberry paper, Clementine ink and Clementine paper, spice cider, lemongrass, and then avocado. So that's another company that you can bring in and have that color combination. So again, the inspiration came from these colors here. But I do want to mention something. If you get the color cubes and you're also inspired by a color that's down here, you can go ahead and add that in as well. Let me show you that on the card that I already made. So you see here, I had to do a floor on this for my kids to run around and to put my tree. So for that, I ended up using distress glaze to make that happen on the bottom of my card. So again, don't be afraid to pull in those other mediums in order to make this color palette. Okay, let's get into markers. So here are the markers I use, the Copic markers that I use, and I also chose to use Olo markers as well. These are great alternatives to use if you want to color. So I'm going to go ahead and just set these kind of up on your tips, and you guys can go ahead and take a screenshot. Everything that I use will be listed in the description box below, so you can check that out as well. I'll have all the links to all the products that I made the cards with. All right, that is going to be day one of sharing how to use a color palette that can go for fall or into your holidays. All right, everybody, I will see you in day two in just a few days. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.